Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Peter. I am from Los Lunas, Albuquerque, New Mexico. And today, you guys know on Wednesday we like to do an empowerment video for women of sorts, you know, all different races, colors, backgrounds. And what I like to do on the day like this is I like to come talk to you guys or talk with somebody who has gone through a struggle of some sort and who has overcame that and is sharing a message with you guys. So this is my friend Barbara.
Hi.
Say hello, Barbara. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, subscribe below, because I'm going to be bringing videos like this every single week. Videos of power, videos of encouragement, videos of just value to add to your life, because I believe that you can never get enough of that. And I think by doing things like this, it encourages not only people to get out of their comfort zone, but also get people to hear a message that maybe relates to their situation. Because I love reaching out to the masses of people, but I know that I can't do it alone. And this is why I bring women of different backgrounds and different philosophies to share their shine and share their moment to inspire other women. And you guys know last couple weeks we had my mom. So this is the first video of 2019. So I thought it would be a great opportunity to bring my friend along, because I know you've gone through a lot this last year. And I'm just gonna break away and say that I'm sure along with a lot that you've gone through, it's been also stepping into the new year has kind of been a good refresher for you, because now you see that you have a whole nother year of opportunity.
Absolutely.
You know, so just to start us off, as something I want to talk about is, you know, tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you're looking to focus on today. What's the focus for you, and a little bit about you.
So, like Peter said, my name is Barbara. I am from Belen, New Mexico, a little tiny town. I'm the oldest of 3 girls. I am a mother of 4 beautiful souls, 3 boys and 1 beautiful princess. I am a 6th grade teacher here in Los Lunas.
So awesome.
It is.
I don't know how she does it.
And I am an Army veteran. And yeah, that's just a little bit about me. So what I really feel compelled to say is I am super excited that you asked me to be a part of the first 2019 video. I just love the energy and the aura that comes with the new year. Like, I know some people like have negative notions, like, why don't you just change? Why does it have to be the new year? But I love the excitement. Like, I love the breath of fresh air, like the whole 365 new opportunities to set the tone. And so I'm super excited. Thank you for having me on your channel. But I would say the biggest takeaway that I took in 2018, and 2018, that one sucker punched me. That one hit me in the jaw. But what I took away from it is, as a woman, as a mother, as a teacher, I feel like we automatically assign ourselves roles as doers. You know, the mother's love, nothing like a woman's touch. We're the backbone of the family. We're the go-to for so many things. And for many, many years, I prided myself on being the rock, or being the go-to for the family, or doing this and doing that and being here and being the available friend. And all those things are really great, and all those things are really, really good. But I lost myself completely in doing everything for everybody. I thought that if I did everything for somebody or anybody all the time, that if everybody's happy, then that would be great. But it was fine until I ended up completely unhappy. I was the highest weight I'd ever been in my life, so depressed, ended up breaking up my marriage, sabotaging a lot of relationships, but more so than anything, I lost myself completely. As women, I feel like sometimes we stretch ourselves so thin and we stuff ourselves so full that we can't really be great at everything when we're trying to do everything.
Tell everybody a little bit about that experience, you know, in that moment when you were starting to feel like enough is enough.
So, August, September of 2018 is when my husband and I decided to separate. And it was in the first moments of where it was his weekend to have the kids, where I was completely home alone. It was completely silent. And that was when the weight of everything that I had did completely fell on top of me, where it fell on my knees and just sobbed. And it was those moments where I was like, okay, maybe I didn't need to do this and this and this for everybody, and this and this and this for everybody, and this and this and this for everybody, because I completely lost myself. You know, the meaning "you can't pour from an empty cup" really rang true to me. It was so metaphorically empowering, because even like the airplane, you know, when they always say like put the mask on you first, because what use are you if you can't breathe and you're passed out, you know, like to put it on your kids. And those things started to make sense to me. Like, how can I give to the people that I love if I'm not even giving to myself?
Yeah.
So then it was a matter of, okay, this has got to change. Like I've got to do a whole new, I got to recreate a whole new Barb.
Yeah, and I've heard that before. Like one of the guests, the speakers that we know, you know, he's really big in the company that I work in. But I don't know if you've ever listened. His name's Garen Jones. No. So he talks about the cup a lot. It's like a huge part of his philosophy, because he believes, like, for example, like here's this cup. You know, what she's saying here is like she is this cup, and the cup was maybe like to this point, and instead of her first allowing herself to fill the cup up all the way to the top, allowing the tip top to overflow into the people, the lives around her, she took so much from her life that eventually this cup just kept draining and draining and draining, and eventually what are you left with?
Nothing.
Exactly. And that is like, that kind of gives me the chills to hear, because it's so true, guys. Like, listen to what she's saying whenever she says it, is like, if you do not take care of yourself as a woman and as a mother, who's going to take care of your kids? You know, I mean, and in the situation of your divorce, like, if you didn't come to that moment, that breaking point to wake you up, where do you think your kids would be right now? Where do you think you would be right now?
I think, if I could say too, the realest conversation you will ever have, the hardest conversation, in my opinion, that you will ever have is with yourself. And in that moment where I was completely broken, or I was completely shattered, where it was like my world crumbled, it did, in a million pieces, and it was like a mosaic art piece. Like, just because it crumbled, doesn't mean it still can't be beautiful. But I had to be real with myself. So what I started doing was started writing, and I wrote, and a lot of stuff that I wrote didn't even make sense, but it was just the raw, organic truth of my heart that I needed to get out. And so the hardest thing that I had to do was be real with the areas of my life that I neglected, and thinking that I could do something to make it better by neglecting myself. So for my students all the time, Miss Haywood, can you come to my basketball game? Can you come to my football game? Can you come to my baseball game? And I thought I was compelled to, I was like, okay, if they ask, then I have to go, because some of these kids don't have parents, or some of these kids have a rough life. So if Miss Haywood can make it to that game, it might brighten their day, which in fact it probably would. But Miss Haywood didn't get to do anything for herself. Miss Haywood didn't pray, didn't meditate, didn't sit, didn't do anything. So I go to this game, and then I'm completely depleted for that day, and then I have to go and be a mom still, and I have to still go to do my things. And it was okay to say no. So the realest conversations, and I had to apologize and make amends. I had to apologize to my ex-husband for neglecting areas of our marriage where I put other people and other situations above what I was supposed to do. And it was really hard. But the biggest apology I ever had to do was to myself, because I matter too. I'm important too. I need to take care of me. I need to love me. I need to pay attention to my needs and my wants and my body and my mind. And when I started really getting that junk out of like having to do everything for everybody and putting myself first, and then my family and my well-being, it was like
a total mind switch, mind shift.
I can't even like put it in words how much clearer my days are, how much more fulfilled I feel because of it. Even to the point where I tattooed it on my body. Do nothing and all will be done. Basically meaning the less that I try to control and manipulate situations, the better it'll be. Like, whatever's gonna be is gonna be.
Yeah, that's true. You gotta just let it go, let it happen. And I'm sure along the journey of like so we talked about like the struggle, we've talked about the moment of realization. Now towards the adventure of like making the changes, did you notice like a change in friends
Absolutely.
Inner circle? Did you notice a change in like the people and family who you thought were so close, maybe not so close anymore?
The energy shift is what I would call it. It was insane. You really start to realize that you handicapped people, or I should say, I handicapped people in everything that I did. I set a tone in my life that made the people in my life feel like Barb will do it, Barb will always do it, I'll leave it for Barb. And I created that. Like, I have to take responsibility and say, like, I created that persona of myself. Like, oh, I'll do that, I'll do this, I'll do this. No matter if I was tired or broke or sick or whatever. But when you change that energy shift and people can no longer use you just to use you, like you're no longer a tool in their life, the whole tone changes. I lost friends, family members, followers, whatever it might be. But the people who are like-minded with you, I started getting people like just attaching to my energy, and then me doing to them too, like meeting people who are on the same like wavelength of mind, body, and soul, and self-care and self-love and things like that. Like, it blew my mind.
It is.
And don't get me wrong, like there's still those moments where I go off and I start doing something crazy, and then I'm like, oh wait, I gotta scale it back. So now I have a notebook. It's like the weirdest thing, but I have this little notebook that one of my kids got me for Christmas, and I wrote on the front of it my notebook. And every time I say no to something that's gonna take away from me or the people who, things that I need to do, I count it as a victory. So I write it in there just to remind myself that life will go on if Barb doesn't do everything for everybody.
Absolutely.
So yes, the energy shift is amazing. I feel great. My mind is clear, but more so than anything, my mind is sound and at peace, and I'm okay. And guess what? Everything is still being done. People are living without me having to do everything.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, you'd be surprised, guys, and this is just my point on adding to what she said, is like, when you start to pour into yourself, the people who are really there for you will get even closer. The people who value you and respect you for what you're really worth. The people who just want to suck the life out of you, the people who just want you to give and give and give and never give you anything in return, are the ones you really have to watch out for. You know what I mean? Because what happens when you put one molded fruit next to a fresh fruit? It starts to overlap on the other fruit, and eventually they're both rotten. So now, I mean, for me, I don't know about you, but like, you notice those energies, you're like, that person's being a rotten apple right now. I gotta step away from that because I know my kids, my family, and honestly, just by hearing you today, I and this is just my belief, I don't think you guys are done yet, because I think that you are having some time to take a moment back and step into the reality of your own shoes and accept, and it's not easy to accept your faults. We have a certain level of pride, I think, and when that pride gets sucked, you have to take a moment to be like, let me take a deep breath and let me fix what I'm doing wrong. And I think that may cause a ripple into saying that you've made changes. Because I believe any relationship can flourish and do better after you've had time to take care of yourself, like you said. And so like now, I mean, you share a little bit, like you kind of missed your opportunity with your children, your ex-husband. I mean, tell us right now where you stand, or you've gone through all this up until this point, like how you're feeling, what you see happening, what your vision is, because I'm sure you have more of a vision now than you did before.
Absolutely. So my vision going forward obviously is I'm really, really big on my legacy, my thumbprint on the world. And it's easy to have that being a teacher. It really, really is. I'm exposed to kids all the time. I have 66 students right now. It's really easy for them to leave your thumbprint on the world and to say, oh, Miss Haywood was this teacher or that teacher. And I take pride in it. I take pride in them walking out with a little piece of me, something that I taught them. But my vision, more so than that, is my 4 beautiful souls that I am responsible for at home. Because it's easy to get so sucked into your mission or your purpose in life that you forget about the people who are watching that first and foremost. So my vision obviously is to pour into my daughter how beautiful she is, how she's special, how she's a phenomenal woman. Oh, and she'll already tell you, she is fierce. But I'm also raising sons who are gonna one day be spouses, who are gonna one day be that partner to a woman, who will be able to see and help and be side by side and give themselves grace. My vision for this year, hopefully moving
That's
Yeah.
right. You did tell me about that.
Yes.
Oh,
I know.
might cry
I'm so
now.
sad, but I'm so excited about it. I'm nervous, but it's a good nervous. But I'm really, really excited. The unknown. I don't know anybody. Nobody knows me. I get to go out, meet some new friends, make some people laugh, have a really, really good time. In the meantime, too, is just to be so transparent and just to know, like, whatever anybody's going through, somebody's been through it. And it's okay to be, I used to always think, too, as women, or even in our culture, I believe, for me anyway, how I was raised was you don't talk about problems. You know, you don't let anybody know you have problems. Because then you're just in drama or
That's
whatever.
probably why my family's a whole honest.
Mine too. Well, it's like, as long as we look good, we're good.
Yeah.
But it could be like a whole, you know, I saw this one video one time where it was like a bunch of crap, right? And then the lady baked it, and then she decorated it beautifully. So she asked the other lady, she was like, so would you like a piece of the cake? And the lady's like, oh yeah. But it was just a bunch of crap covered in icing. So I'm trying not to be crap covered in icing anymore.
That's a hashtag.
Hashtag.
No crap, all icing. That's so good, huh?
That'll be the next flavorist shake.
Yes, you guys come by for that flavor. It's gonna be one that's very balanced and all the hormones. I'm so excited to have you here today because I know we've been planning this to get together. But my last thing that I want for everybody watching today is for you to share something for them that you think could benefit anybody in the situation. Maybe somebody you're feeling like they are in a situation of being a doer and it is taking from them. What would you recommend for somebody listening to that?
I would say again, to be really honest with yourself. Like Peter said, it's hard to have that self-talk of areas of your life that you're neglecting. You know, one thing I always hear is I don't have time or things like that, but really we do. We just spread ourselves thin and we stuff ourselves full, and there's areas of your life that you could totally take away that don't need to be there. But will I say the biggest piece of advice that I could give all the women that are watching this, you are so valuable. And you don't need to do everything for your light to shine. People will see it no matter what. The people who need to see it at that moment will see it. You're special, you're beautiful the way that you are, and your light will shine regardless of what you do. You're a great mother, you're a great wife, you're good. We beat ourselves up so much, and we neglect ourselves so much that it's easy to fall into the trap of doing, because I felt so ugly, I felt so useless, I felt so abused, I felt so worthless that I felt like if I could keep doing for people, they'll love me, or if I could do more, they'll see me, and they'll see, it felt good to be needed, but to what extent? The extent of your marriage, the extent of your motherhood, the extent of your sanity, or the extent of yourself, and none of it was worth it. So the second you realize, I am somebody, I'm special, I'm beautiful, I'm funny, I'm successful, and I have a purpose in this world. Like, the creator of the universe that created the galaxies and the mountains and the oceans felt like the world needed you. And there's so much power in that.
Yeah, there's a 1 in a trillion chance that you were born. So if you're watching this video and you're like, well, what about me? I'm just this little lady or this little girl who is just getting started and works at something or whatever. Look, the reality is there was 1 in a trillion chances of you being at the position that you're in your life and being even born. So the fact that you're allowing that excuse to dictate what level of life you can live is not any beneficial to you. Let it go.
You're doing a disservice to yourself.
Absolutely, yeah, because I mean, that was the one, whenever I heard that, there was a 1 in a trillion chance of you being born, I was like, dang.
Yeah.
That was when I was really need to step into my glory in the moment, because,
Oh, I love that.
you know?
I love that. It's so true.
It's
like,
true.
we all have a purpose, you know, and it doesn't matter the smallest or the biggest or what you might think of that purpose is, but yeah, absolutely. Step into your glory, find who you are, appreciate who you are. And girl, rock it out.
Girl?
Yeah, girl.
Yeah.
You are so special.
Awesome. I am so glad that we got together today, guys. If you guys love this video, I want you guys to leave some comments below, sharing something positive with her that I can send to her, or, just let her know you guys are watching. And thanks again for watching this video. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, click the link below, subscribe, put on your notifications, because I bring value to you guys every single week as much as I can. And I apologize to you guys for posting such a late video. I didn't post last week because I have some exciting news coming. I have some exciting equipment coming. So I'm working with what I got, but you know what, guys? That does not any damage for the message that we're trying to portray for you. And this is why Wednesdays to me are so empowering, because for me, you guys saw my mom and the backbone of a woman of who I am to be today, who you guys see. And so for me, it really means a lot for me to connect with other moms, other women, other, just ladies. I'm sorry, men, but you guys are gonna have to.
You need your ladies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Healthy
ladies. You need your ladies healthy,
happy,
and also telling you that you got to bring your pride down too. Because men, we know we got our pride up here sometimes, and we think we got the world on our shoulders. But in reality, if you sit and talk to your wife, if you sit and actually have a legit conversation with you, I know you can learn something from that woman. Because guess who gave you life? A woman. Mm-hmm. So that's all I have for you guys today. If you don't have anything else for today.
No, thanks for having me.
Of course, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. Like I said, I wanted to do this for a minute, but you guys, if you guys have any comments, if you want to see anything else, comment below and let me know. But other than that, you guys have a fantastic Wednesday. Women Empower Women Wednesdays. So that's what who run the world?
Women.
But you guys have a great day. You already know. Peace, love, and happiness. You guys have a good one, okay? Bye, guys.
Bye.